just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old every single day without the truth. Please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I had to rush out, but I had an appointment anyway, so I'm here anyway. I'm here, and there's a guest today as well. There's a guest, Christopher, who's there. Nice to see him, actually. Hey, Frank and everyone, like and subscribe, says Christopher. Thank you, Christopher. Steamer Lolland. Hey, Frank and Anthony and everyone in chat. That's nice. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I had to rush out. Well, I had an appointment, as I said. And I knew that I was late. I tried to phone Anthony. Well, I did phone him. Never answered, unfortunately. So anyway, I'll bring him on to tell him I'll be late. There he is.
Are you up? When was that? Today?
No, Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. We were all over the show Saturday, yeah. Oh,
And
were you okay with your appointments?
I'll talk to you privately. And then you put a post up, Peyton, and I said I phoned you, and I thought you might have got back. You put a post up, just put a Peyton up.
Yeah, I dipped in, dipped out. I don't like Facebook. So I don't hang around.
That is it, right. I put a picture, I put a post up the other day about a good friend of mine who died. You know, mate, I'm going back years ago when we were mates, you know.
Yeah.
Young lads, just seeing the world, if you know what I mean. Finding out what the world was like. And, you know, he died. So I just hope I get a bit better, you know, so I can go to a service. I just hope so. But the way I am now, I don't think I'll be able to. I'll speak to you after the show, if you answer me.
Okay.
Anthony. Christopher says, hey, Anthony, hope you had a good birthday and all them scotches and a piece of cake.
Christopher, I did. I had a fantastic birthday, and that's where we've been over the past couple of days. Because my birthday mixes with Christmas, and then at a point, we've got to put it all away again till next year. So that's where we've been today and yesterday. Yeah, I did.
One of the reasons why I phoned you, I was going to, good job I didn't, I was going to ask Francine to run me over on yesterday to you. Only for an hour.
Yeah, it should have.
No, Andy, I phone first. If I'm going to visit anybody, I don't just show up. You know what I mean?
So, you know what how we are, where the house is.
Yeah, I know.
You don't need an invite. You don't need an invite.
been out. You could have been out somewhere. We would have got there.
You know, we drive out.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Anyway, that's by the by. Toscana. Want to say to Franco, Anthony, and Shatters?
Hi, Toscana. Happy New Year to you.
And Janet. Good evening, Frank and Anthony.
Good evening, Janet. Thank you. Hope you're good, all of you.
And the alligator man all the way from Tampa, Dennis Paparak. Hi guys, enjoying the snow.
Luckily, we haven't. We've got a bit of it, haven't we? But we haven't had it bad. I shouldn't say that. Touch wood, you know. But it's very picturesque to look at, Dennis. Wonderful. I just wouldn't want to be waiting for the bus in it.
I can't walk in snow, to be
No.
honest. No way. No way I can walk in the snow. And Polo says, hi, Frank and Anthony and friends. What's today's topic? Or today's topics? We don't know yet until we get into it.
Yeah.
I've got some history to say anyway. Going to show a few prints and that. I want to talk about the castle, actually, because I've hardly ever talked about the castle. You know our castle?
Yeah. The making of and the history.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And the lady says, hello, Lars.
Hello. Good evening to you all. Hope everyone's well and good.
So what you think of, as I said about, the castle? Because what I want to talk about as well is literature.
Yeah.
A bit later on. So I'll just do a little bit of history now, if you don't mind.
No, that's great.
And I want to talk about, this here. And when you see that, what you see there, Anthony, is to the extreme right. Left, I'm sorry, to the extreme left. You've got St. Nick's Church, the original church.
Yeah.
Right? And the original tower, because the tower fell, unfortunately, in 1812, and it was rebuilt in 1815, the year of Waterloo. Right? And then if you go just a little bit further to the right, you see a custom house, right? You see the tower building, right?
Yeah.
You see the tower building. And to the right of that, you've got a little custom house, which is in white.
Yeah.
And then to the right of that, you've got the castle.
Wow.
And just a bit further up from the castle, you'll see a domed building, which was quite big, actually. And that was the Exchange, which later became the Town Hall. And right at the top, Anthony, on the hill, is the beacon, Everton Beacon. And that was built, believe it or not, by the Romans. And it was used as a semaphore when the Romans came to Liverpool. And it was used as a semaphore from Chester to Manchester, like a big traffic light. Incredible engineering at the time by the Romans 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago.
Well,
Isn't that lovely?
That is fantastic. And you know my keen interest in if we were able to do what the Romans have done for us.
Yeah.
Program.
It's as simple as that. It's like that, what you're looking at now, Anthony. It's a big letter H, right? And they're Roman roads. they're the Roman roads, you know, because we based every road, every street, everywhere throughout the world is based on the Roman grid in the world.
Wow.
Isn't that fantastic?
That is absolutely fantastic.
And what you see there, obviously, you see the Mersey and going around to the right and going up. That's what we know as as Paradise Street now, and Whitechapel a bit further up. Do you ever remember the fountain in Williamson Square?
Yes.
Right. Well, that water, believe it or not, was from the pool, because the pool is still there. It's another river. You can't get rid of a river. And it's right under the likes of Paradise Street and Whitechapel. Still there. And that was the water that was coming through. And I was absolutely made up with that. And I said to the council at the time, I said, you want to put a plaque up saying about what the water, where the water stems from?
Yeah.
Never did, like. They never did. Because that gave us our name, pool.
Yeah.
Laver, which was seaweed. Pole, which was Latin, you know, pool. Which gave us our name, Liverpool.
Wow. And it's still turned off, kind of, isn't it? Still blanked.
Great, that, isn't it? I
Yes.
just want to. I'll just see what the lads are saying and girls. I've got to see this fella, you know. Supercharge himself. Do you ever remember the group Supercharge?
Absolutely. The brilliant, absolutely fantastic.
There he is, Albie's on, Albie. Supercharge.
Yeah.
And they're still going in Germany, because he lives in Germany now, there's Albie.
Brilliant.
Do you know what, Anthony? I said to him, I said, do you fancy coming on my show? And he went, yeah. I said, all right. So anyway, you know, good old mate sitting there. And I used to have our Gerrards on. So anyway, I got some beer in for our Gerrards once. I think it was for his, I think it was his birthday or something like that. So I got some beer in, and you know that I don't have alcohol in the house, so he has it in the fridge for our kids. So anyway, when he has them on, I said to him, do you fancy a cup of tea? Because I was just going to go out and make a cup of tea, you know, when we have our time. And he said, have you got any, have you got a beer there? And I said, yeah. He drank the lot. He drank the lot. He must have thought he was in a beer cellar or something. But that's our Albie for you. And the lovely Bella says, Buonasera, Franco Antonio, and all you chatters, says the lovely Bella.
Brilliant.
Anyway. And Polo says, yeah, tell us about the castle and some facts. I will do. Because I've got a picture, I think, of the castle. And Snappy says, the mystery of history then, tonight's theme, eh? Yes. Yes, it is. And it was the castle in Liverpool built before the one in New Brighton, says Steve Holland. I don't know what castle was built in New Brighton.
The fort, isn't it? It's a fort on New Brighton.
Yeah. Cracking that. And Polo says, which family owned the castle? I'll be talking all about that. Polo, mate. What's on the hill? Oh, what you're seeing, Jeanette, I just mentioned it to Anthony. It's Everton Beacon. And that's why it's called Beacon Hill. and it was built by the Romans, and then it was extended during the medieval times when we thought that the French were going to attack us, and they were going to light a fire if we were being under attack by the French. You know, this was around 1580, 88 or something like that. The time of the Armada. Yep, those dirty French attacking Liverpool. And the Snapey says, Steve Mulholland's, it was defo built before the Aldi on County Road. That much I can be certain of the castle. Brilliant, that. Lovely. But anyway, you know, you've got all this, you know, this wonderful thing about the castle. And there it is. Now, this was actually taken, Anthony, during the Civil War. This print, you know, whoever did the print, whoever drew it. Because what you see there are the Cavaliers and the Roundheads. Now, I'll give you a little bit of information about it. The castle. When King John gave its royal charter in 1207, and he said to the antiquary and librarian at the time, he said, oh, look, you know, there's a land there, and there's a river, and I was talking to people, and there's a pool coming off the river, and the good thing is it doesn't silt up. Chester was silting up, you see. And he said, so to embark and disembark troops, you've got to claim the land for the realm. So he said, it doesn't silt up. He said, no, not like Chester. So he said, okay. He said, well, what's the name of this land? This is King John. And the antiquary said, well, it's got no name. He said, well, what's there? He said, well, the shoreline is covered in lava, which is an old Anglo-Saxon word meaning seaweed. And the pool coming off, he said, that's where some people just come down and fish from the village, which was Liverpool. So we said, oh, okay then. So in 1207, we became Leva, which was hyphenated, by the way, Leva, Pole. And later on, in 1557, another antiquary came up belonging to Henry VIII. And he was going around surveying the land, you know, whatever he was doing. And he came to Liverpool. And it was the first thing ever written about Liverpool that this John Leyland said. And it was he who he said, Liverpool, alias Leopold. So he gave us our name, Liverpool, in English rather than the Latin. But he put an E at the end of it. Liverpool. So over the years, we dropped the E, obviously. So that's how. Now, the castle was actually built going back to the Royal Charter, and he appointed, we should have had the Earl of Chester, but the Earl of Chester, he called the king for everything, you know, to this antiquary. he was going around saying, what do you think of King John? And some were saying, he's all right. And others were saying, he said, I won't use the word like, but sorry, okay. And so did the Earl of Chester. And he said, I don't like it. He keeps putting taxes up. But little did they know at the time that the taxes were for his brother.
Yeah.
Richard. To keep on going with these crusades. But he died, so now he's king as John. And he said, so he called him for everything, more or less. And the next was, he said, okay then, because we could have come under Cheshire. But with King John, and he said, no, he said, get up to Lancaster and get William D. Ferris. He seems like a nice fella. And he respected King John D. Ferris. So he said to D. Ferris, I want you to go to this new place, this new borough called Liverpool, and build it. And it was a great honour in those days to be presented with a borough so that, you could put your own stamp on. Yeah. And that's what he did. He came down. The first thing he did, he had a look around. He had a look up at a place called Hireton. Hireton, which was spelled Hiratun, which is, again, old Anglo-Saxon meaning high town, Hireton. People think that it was Highton. No, Hireton was Everton, looking down. And this is where the antiquary actually seen what was below. This is why he went to John and said, King John, and said, listen, this is a great place. It doesn't silt up or anything, unlike Chester. So anyway, 1207, given our royal charter, William D. Ferris came down, has a look around, and where Victoria's monument is, where that is today, it was hilly. And it looked down towards the river as it does today. So he levelled it off. He levelled that particular part off. Where the law courts are, where the monument is to Victoria. So he levelled it off and he said, I'm going to build a castle. And I want it manned. So we built the castle, and the castle was in approximately 1234. It was finished. And he also built a church inside, and he named it St. Mary del Keys. Keys, keys to the borough, the new borough. So it was called St. Mary del Keys. And he brought in lots of professionals, as we call them today, artisans, bricklayers or whatever, stonemasons, and carpenters and whatever, to build the castle. And that's how it was built. So William D. Ferris, Polo, built the castle. He had the castle built.
Wow.
The unfortunate thing was, I wish I could show you. Let me take that down a minute. No. Let me take
It's a record that King John was pleased with the castle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this particular picture shows, the enormity of the castle, the height of it.
Yeah.
Because with the Mersey as well, you've got to look, that's a beach. And that's where the Mersey flowed to. in high tide, went right up there. The Mersey was very wide. Very wide it was.
So that kind of be the end of James Street, which
Yeah.
would be on the shore.
Yeah. Now, remember when I mentioned about, I didn't mention his name, did I? The antiquary of the other fella, Henry VIII. His name was Thomas Leland. And he had written the first thing about Liverpool. The very first thing about Liverpool, Thomas Leland. And he stayed, believe it or not, and it's still there today, the building. And I used to teach there. Which is a great honour for me. And it was the very first grammar school in the Northwest. And it's still there, it's still standing today. It's still standing today. And I used to teach some history there, actually. And I showed Sophia. I was in the car with Francine and Sophia. And I said, look at that, see that building there? She said, yeah. And I told her that building had been there since the early 1500s. Because John Leland was here and stayed in the actual school itself. When he was here in 1554 or 57. 57 it was. 1557. And this is what he had written about Liverpool. The very first thing. Liverpool alias Leopold. They're the very first two words. I've got it somewhere here, the actual text. Over. And this is the outline of that's the plan of the castle.
Wow.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the plan. And as I said, it was completed in approximately 1234. So they started work around 12:08, 12:10, something like that. And it was completed then, approximately in 1234. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Wow.
And believe it or not, mister, I've been there. See there?
Yes.
Because it's an exact replica of Liverpool Castle. And it's in a place called Rivington Pike. Because Lord Leverhulme wanted to build it in Liverpool. And they said, no, you can't do that, So we owned the land up at Rivington and the reservoir. So we actually had this built around 1910, exact replica. And I've actually been there. And that's one of the towers. There it is.
Wow.
It's fantastic,
Yeah, what a vision of the man.
Look at it. I used to bring my students up there. They used to bring me students up there to show them. Rivington Pike, look at it. It's an unbelievable thing. There it is. Exactly how it was.
Wow.
Isn't it fab?
It is, Frank. It's just it is fab, and it's also poignant and sad that we couldn't have this still in Liverpool.
Well, I'll tell you something in a moment. Do you know who took these pictures, by the way?
I
Jason.
think you are
Jason.
intrepid backline,
Yeah, Jason.
Mr. Jason.
Jason. He took his little grandson up. Little grandson thought he was Robin Hood.
Oh,
Little doorway.
you would.
And that's who took them. Fantastic, aren't they? Look
I
at
should
that.
be little and having that freedom to wander around there.
Oh yeah. Well, even when I brought my students up there, they were amazed. And this is what they said exactly what you said about it's a pity that it couldn't be built. But I'll tell you more about that anyway. I just think it's great pictures what he had taken.
Absolutely. Brilliant. It brings life to it, doesn't it?
You know Sean Stiles and Willie Miller, don't you?
Yeah, I know Sean better, yeah.
Yeah, well, remember they used to have a Sunday show on Merseyside,
I do. Loved
right?
it. Yeah.
So he said to me one day, he said, do you fancy coming on the show? So I said, yeah, all right. So I went so. And I was talking about this. Right, this is genuine, this. I was talking about the castle. And I've got pictures myself, you know. I said, yeah, there it is, there, you know. And he went, wow, that's great, that. And Willie went, tell you what, shall we get a couple of lorries? And we take it down, we take it brick by brick and bring it back to Liverpool. Right. Now, the place, Rivington, they've got a newspaper called the Orange Times or something, Orange, just by Bolton. And they put it in, they said, they mentioned me, Willie, and Sean had said, they're coming down, they're going to take away the castle.
Your plans to steal it.
So this story was telling them, you know, these two people, they must have been listening. The comments are taking on. Incredible. But isn't that brilliant? That particular one is one of the towers. You know what you be seeing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Look at that. The steps going up there, everything.
Is it kind of under guardianship of someone like the National Trust or something like that, Frank?
I haven't a clue. Yeah, look, see that? Look, yeah. That, right.
Yeah.
Is that. And the one at the very beginning, if you know what I mean. I'll just get it back, right back. Which I thought was a fantastic picture. Right back. Yeah, I've got it. And that's the tower there, look. It's very big, you know. It's very big. The students were made up with it.
You would be.
Let's see what these have been saying there. And Paulie says, whoa, what a subject. Oh, that's nice, Paulie. Even in Frank and chat, says Paulie. And Bella says, a palette of joy, a stroke of grace for the artist who brightens every space. Happy birthday, Antonio.
Ah, what a beautiful. Well, thank you so much. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, you got a fan there. And Paulie says, oh, sorry, Hans Anthony. Look. Don't you the last anyway.
Evening, Paulie.
And Irene says, evening, Frank and Anthony.
Good evening, Irene. Welcome to the dungeons.
Yeah, Two old fogies. And Dennis, our American friend, he says, when John's taxes also needed to pay Leopold of Austria the ransom he demanded after. Yeah, that's right. He had to get a ransom off. Well done. There you, Dennis. Excellent stuff. Well done. He's nearly killed then, by the way. And John Picalussi. Sorry to interrupt, but when and why did the castle get decommissioned, Derby Square? It's when we built our castle. It became, because the one in hang on, no, I'm getting mixed up here. I thought you meant up in West Derby. I got it mixed there. West Derby, because that was a wooden one. West Derby. That was a Norman castle, and it became unrepairable. It was just wood anyway. So once we built this, that became obsolete. But anyway, I'll be telling you a little bit about it, John, when I'll just finish off. Okay, I will tell you. Stunning pics, Frank, says Dennis. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Jason.
Yeah, Jason, absolutely. Molto grazie, Toscana. She's thanking her. Bella is Toscana. She must have had some. And Polo says, in Rivington Tower, it doesn't mention Liverpool. I'm going to tell you something. Bias media prejudice. I'm going to tell you something about that, which I would have done, but only that you brought it up. There used to be a big plaque, a big metal plaque saying a replica of Liverpool Castle. That's what it used to say. And when the last time I went up there with me, it was taken down. So someone had taken it down. And as you're right, bias media prejudice. So you're right there, Polo. Good lad. Good man. And Bella says, wow, that is fantastic, Franco. Thank you. So, it's, as I said about this fellow, he came up. I was in a class once, I was given a little bit of history, and I was talking about this fella, and I read out, genuine this, I read out about, what he had written. The first thing ever written about Liverpool. Liverpool alias Leopold. And he said it's a place that Manchester men do buy there, right? And people thought that I was saying that Manchester men buy in Dubai. Dubai. And I went, no. I said, it's not Dubai. I said, there's no such place as Dubai. I said, it's Dubai. D-O-B-U-Y, Dubai. Meaning Manchester keep coming down to buy all the goods that was coming in.
To trade, yeah.
I said, so Manchester men do buy there. Try explaining that, honestly.
Was it this particular gentleman who wrote about Liverpool having paved streets?
Yeah, it's the same man, paved town. Leopold, alias Liverpool, a paved town. Do you know what? I have got it, I've got it somewhere. I'll tell you what I'll do with you. I don't know where the fuck it is. I got it up there. I can't use my left arm, I'll get it up. Oh, where it is here. I'll get it. Do you know what? Jason. I wanted a Jason. Let's see. Jason should have it, you know. You know what he had written?
Yeah, as a slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if he's got it up. Oh no, he hasn't. But I've got it somewhere here anyway. I might be able to get it though, because I've got so much. Honestly. Oh yeah, hang on, I've got to show you something. So that's the castle. Isn't it brilliant?
It is brilliant. Yeah.
Liverpool Castle. And there it is again, right over there. And here to the left. I used to have a colour print of this. Is the Custom House. I'm sorry, is the Tower Building. You know, to the left where those little boats are.
Yeah.
And the white one, the white building, where that cart is, that's the Custom House. That was the first Custom House. And that was the site of it. And you see that building, you've got the, I've got to show you this. Do you see the building on the extreme right?
Yes.
Well, the building next to it, to the left of it, that gives you a big clue about this particular. And do you know what it's called? That building, Castle Moat House. Because James Street was a moat. Bear with me on this, please.
Yeah.
Bear with me. See what I do for people. Let's see. I bet you haven't got it, you know. I bet you have taken it out somewhere. Let's see. Sorry about this, people. No, got it here. Right. I'll have to take it out the sleeve. Bear with me, people. A minute. Just 1 minute. Got to take this out the sleeve. And I'll show you something. Let's see. Hang on. Now, on that monument, look, see where it says? That's on the Victoria Monument, and lots of people haven't even seen this. And when I've shown like people around and I've said, hey, look, you know, and they didn't even, they said, well, we passed this, load, never seen that. And what it says on this site, formerly stood the Castle of Liverpool.
Yeah. And then there's a relief image of it. What was there a specific reason why they thought that a statue of Queen Victoria should go in that spot?
Again, it's another. Okay. Do you see that aerial view? That's the castle up at Rivington Pike. It's the exact replica of the castle. Exact replica.
Oh.
In a fantastic, yeah, look, I'll show you. Look at that, right? Just look at it. I'll remove it. And I've got, see, it's an exact replica.
Absolutely.
In a
That's Jason
fantastic,
Leone again. It is fantastic. And it's like, wow.
exactly. I'll show you. That's all.
What gave him the drive to do it?
Yeah,
Obviously, he went to Liverpool and he said, I want to put it back. It was such a
let me
part.
go on.
I was just going to say, I'd imagine Lever Hume would said, I want to put it back. It was such a part of Liverpool history.
Yeah,
I can
that's what.
have it rebuilt.
But
And some,
unfortunately, planners had different ideas. But it's the way it is. It's the way it goes, unfortunately. Anyway, there it is. Hang on.
yeah.
Look at that.
Looks amazing. Certainly in colour.
Isn't it brilliant?
Yes.
I used to hand these out to my students. Used to hand them out. I've got it on my wall. I have a beautiful painting of it. Show you it sometime when you come over. Finally, what you think of that? Hey,
Just amazing. Love it. I love it.
Polo says, the plaque was removed by people with hate in their heart. We'll never know why, unfortunately.
Ignorance certainly is part of it.
It is ignorant. Well, it is. Biasness as well, what the Polo said.
Definitely.
Before we go to the break, I'm going to add why it was sponsored by the Gap Painting Services. Fully time served, fully insured. Please don't struggle if you're an NHS worker or an elderly couple or even an elderly living on your own. Get them in. Don't struggle because you get a special discount. Even if you don't fit into those particular categories, just get them in to give you the price. Without any obligation whatsoever, they'll come down, give you the price, and if you want them to do it, they'll leave you at home fantastically done, the way you want it. So that's Gap Painting Services, the sponsors of all my podcasts, even when I go blurry. That's Gap Painting Services. And you'll always get the phone number on the description. Bella says, Franco, did Liverpool Castle have a secret underground tunnel? Yeah, certainly did. It certainly did, Bella. So what do you think of that, mister?
I love it, Frank. I love it. I love the story. And when you first told me about Lever Hume's replica up the motorway, I thought, wow, just wow. Why couldn't
I'm sorry.
council leaders? Why could not own council leaders have that passion?
Well, what has happened? See, in 1724, it was what you see. What Jason showed you there.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Yeah.
Because Lord Leverhulme built it the way it was left before they pulled it down. Because the people then were saying, and you're going back to 1724, They were saying, we're going to pull it down. But there was conservationists even then. There's always been conservationists. And they said, what are you pulling it down for? It was the very first building in Liverpool. Stop it. And they said, no. So we pulled our castle down. Just imagine that there today.
I can't, Frank, that's the thing. And I'm sure our chat can. And I can just see a little spot in the middle for Victoria's statue or whatever. You know, but that is...
So it could have become a museum. You know, there's castles all over the place, all over England and up in Scotland.
Yeah, and not too far.
You've got to go over to Carnarvon and Prestatyn.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow.
We've always had city planners and idiots who've been running the cities for centuries, knocking everything down. Anything they say, oh, let's knock it down. Because what they built instead of it, the castle from 1234, they built a church called St. George's Church. And Thomas Steers, who actually built the very first wet dock in the world, he designed the church. So they built that in 1727. So by the time 100 years elapsed, they said, oh, it's becoming unsafe, the church. So they brought in one of our great architects, which was John Foster Jr., and he strengthened it. So by the time the latter part of the 19th century, around 1896, they would say, shall we pull the church down? Because they just loved Queen Victoria. They just loved her. And they said, we've got to build a monument to Queen Victoria. So that was the thing to be pulled down, the church. So they pulled down St. George's Church. The fella who designed and built her was, as I said, Thomas Steers. Well, he was a Dutchman named Thomas Steers. We anglicised his name to Thomas Steers. And he built the very first wet dock in the entire world that opened its things in 1715. So he designed, and the likes of, as I said, the wonderful architect to go in and strengthen it was John Foster Jr. And some of the buildings, he's been incredible. Incredible. And he strengthened it. So all that history went from Thomas Steers to John Foster Jr. All that gone to build, a statue to Queen Victoria. Just horrible. Just horrible, and that's us for you. That's us for you. And it's so bloody annoying. It really is annoying. And Polo says, you wouldn't trust the council with a Lego castle. You wouldn't, Polo. And Dennis Papara, a right shame, went to Denby back in 2011 and toured its ruins in the rain. Look, Denby Castle. And Dennis went there. Now, Dennis comes over every year to play at the Cavern.
Yeah.
Now, he'd say to his mates, let's go and see the Cavern, because it's only over the road from the Cavern, as you know.
Yeah.
It's just... Lovely Toscana says, fascinating history.
Yeah.
And Owen Lee, hiya Owen, he says, took an Australian cousin to North Wales and managed to see 4 castles in one day. There you go, Dennis Paparak and Owen Lee. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just nuts what we've pulled down, got rid of.
Yeah. Oh,
There's loads. We pulled down. I'm gonna. Jason, can you give us a break? If you're there, if you're listening in. I don't know whether he's listening in. Oh.
This is the famous Cunard building, the middle of the Three Graces, built in 1916 by Willink and Thicknessy. Samuel Cunard came over from Canada in 1848 and set up the famous Cunard Line. The most famous ships of the Cunard Line are the Lusitania, the Mauretania, and of course the Queen Mary, which incidentally was designed in this building. If you would have been lucky enough to have travelled on one of the Cunard's liners, you would have seen a similar stairwell to this. There was no expense spared because the shipping lines at the time were so lucrative, and as you can see, the sumptuousness of the interior. The architects Willink and Thicknessy deliberately kept a part of the original dock wall built by the French prisoners of war. It's a little bit different, as you can see, down here from the lavishness upstairs. And through this door is Liverpool's architecture unseen, and the wall built by the French prisoners of war in 1807. So follow me. Here is the original wall that was deliberately left by Willink and Thicknessy. There it is. This is the magnificent boardroom where the plans for the Mauretania and Cunard's flagship, the Queen Mary, were actually designed. The boardroom is a masterpiece in itself. Just look at the spectacular views of the Mersey. Incredible. This corridor is based on the Queen Mary first class passenger corridor, and just look at it, it's absolutely magnificent. Today, the offices are used for legal services, and they still have to make a cup of tea, but in this case, it's no ordinary kitchen. They have their own galley, or, as in this case, their own mess room. Further down into the Cunard building, here we find the original air raid shelter that the people used during the Second World War. The people including the staff of the building and also the armed forces. How do we know that it's the air raid shelter? Because all the clues are still here to say that it was. Let's go further back to the early part of the 20th century when the passengers who were actually sailing from this building had to leave their luggage in these racks here. Everybody's talking about smoking bans. Well, let me tell you, it's not a new thing. You could easily be deceived by looking at this place. It could easily be a brig, a bridewell, a jail. In fact, it's as safe as ours, and I'll tell you why. Behind these steel doors, the first-class passengers had all their valuables, whether they be famous paintings from Europe, furniture, jewels, everything. And they hired these safes for safekeeping. The rooms were very basic, as you can see, but at least all the valuables were kept safe, except this one. Maybe they forgot the key and never returned. There's two ordinary Liverpool pigeons going about their daily business. There are two other birds that overlook our city, and believe you me, they're not ordinary. The liver birds derived from 1207, when the antiquary of King John came up to the area, overlooked the harbour, as we know today, Liverpool. He went back to King John and said, claim it for the realm, this piece of land, because nobody owned it. So King John said, what's there? And he said, well, local people who are fishing call it the pool. He said, well, is there anything else there? And he said, well, yeah, there's on the shore, there's tons and tons of laver, which is an old Anglo-Saxon word meaning seaweed. So King John put pool and laver together and derived the name Liverpool for the Royal Charter on the 28th of August 1207, and that is how Liverpool derived its name. So what kind of bird is the liver bird? It's no ordinary bird. It's not a pigeon or a seagull, nor is it a cormorant, as people imagine. In fact, it's the royal seal of King John, the eagle of St. John and King John. So why does it look so weird? During the English Civil War in 1644, when Prince Rupert came here, laid siege to the castle. 3 months later, the parliamentarians retook the castle. One of the lads went up to the town hall, got hold of the royal seal and smashed it up. By the time King Charles II was enthroned, they asked an engraver to come out with the royal seal, the original royal seal of Liverpool, the eagle of King John and St. John. Unfortunately, it came out not quite right, and people thought that it was a cormorant. And what's that in its beak? Well, of course, it's the laver, it's the seaweed, Liverpool's name symbolised.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I mean,
Go on, I'm sorry.
some of it, I remember we were grateful to have a personal look around certain parts, but the history of the Cunard is fantastic. And the liver bird, which is the bird like no other, you know.
When I brought you around.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, do you know what? I got a message today off lawyers, and they said, is there any chance to bring us around? I haven't answered them yet. On the 19th, and I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm absolutely in bulk, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, all my activity is gone. It's gone. It's dissipated into nothingness now, unfortunately.
Is there not one spot you could be at?
Yeah, I was thinking of one spot. I was, which is See, there's two spots in Liverpool. One is around where the castle was, just around there. Fantastic history. And the other one is the neoclassical buildings. But the Castle Street one, the James Street one, and Williamson Square, Queen Square, you know where the Victoria Monument is, and the top of Lord Street there, James Street, as I said, fantastic history there. Really fantastic. And just over the road in Fenwick Street, you go along there, then up towards the town hall. Absolutely amazing. And what's in there. So I just might do that. That's why I haven't given I just might be able to get away with it. I was highly recommended, you see, by another lawyer.
Yeah.
So, but I'll have to take my stick.
Take your stick. That's great. Well, you need that to whack people who get in your way.
Or taking no notice of me. Yeah. Are you listening?
Wake up.
So I'm going to give it 24 hours. See how I am.
Yeah.
I just want to get rid of this pain, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's another story. Yes, so did you enjoy that?
I absolutely did. Loved it. Yeah.
Can I read a poem?
Yes, please.
And it's Thomas Hardy. I just hope I can read it. You might think that this is, all bright and everything. It's not. It's terrible. I can't see hardly anything. Anyway, I think it's one of... it's a very poignant poem. It's not long. I hope our chatters don't mind.
I love it.
Chatters. And it's called... Oh, I've got something for you, look. Got that for you. Christopher Jolly, English short stories for Laney.
Oh, fantastic.
Do you know what? I was looking for something there because I dropped it. And it was very difficult to get. It's very difficult for me. And I brought me little gripper thing in. And Jason knew that I wasn't there. So he was adding to it. It was a longer video than we normally have. And as Dennis Paparak says, love the video, Frank. Thank you, Dennis. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this poem. I think Dennis will, because he's a singer and he's in a band called the Incurables. I think I'm incurable. And I think he'd appreciate this. Just bear with me. Do you know what? I might have to put the light on. You don't mind, do you? Then I'll turn it off again. It'll be very, very bright. Just bear with me.
Is it on? There you go.
There they go.
That looks great. Yeah, it doesn't look too bright. Only you can see where you're going.
I'm not that bright, you know. But anyway, here's the poem. It's called The Voice. Thomas Hardy. And it's for everyone, really, this. Woman, much missed, how you call to me, saying that now you are not as you were. when you had changed from the one who was all to me. But at first, when our day was fair, can it be you that I hear? Let me view you then, standing as when I drew near to the town where you would wait for me. Yes, I knew you then, even to the original air blue gown. Or is it only the breeze in its listlessness, travelling across the wet mead to me here? You being over dissolved to one wistlessness, heard no more, again far or near. Thus I, faltering forward, leaves around me falling, wind oozing thin through the thorn from norward, and the woman calling. That was his wife. And he just goes there as an old man. And he just listens to the breeze. And he thinks it's her calling. What do you think of that? Sad, isn't it?
Well, poignant.
Sad.
It's the beauty of being able to express your emotion, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that we get to share.
Yes.
'Cause we all go through it at stages.
It's sad, isn't it, really, when we come to think about certain things. You know, the likes of it's like John Keats, and it's not only like John Keats. I've got to read this. I'm sorry, but I think it's one of the, well, it is the greatest love quote of all time. The wonderful John Keats. I've got it right on it. I'll have to put the lights on again. I'm sorry.
Right.
I've got to read. This is a quote, people, by John Keats. And he was writing 24 years of age. As physicians, he was suffering from tuberculosis, and his physician said, go to a warm climate and get better. And he went over to Rome. And if you've been to Rome and you see the Spanish Steps, when you're looking at the Spanish Steps from the fountain, Bernini's fountain, on the right, the bottom of the steps, you see a home, a house, a dwelling. And that's where Keats lived. And it's a museum now. And to the left of the stairs, the steps, you've got Percy Bysshe Shelley's home. And they used to meet. And they used to sit on the steps, just talking. Incredible. And that's a museum as well, which I've been into. And this is his last letter to his girlfriend, whom he loved, and she loved him. She loved him so
Funny.
much. And this is one of the greatest things. I have two luxuries to brood over in my walks, your loveliness and the hour of my death. Oh, that I could have possession of them both in the same minute. Unquote. I have two luxuries to brood over in my walks: your loveliness and the hour of my death. Oh, that I could have possession of them both in the same minute, meaning the same minute as he dies. I hope he succeeded in that.
Yeah. He was heartbroken because she wrote to him, but he couldn't read any of her messages. So pushed them away. And
Isn't that beautiful, though?
the enormity of it, Frank, it's just the enormity of it. And that's the beauty of literature and music and song.
Yeah.
People who can convey that emotion so we are touched by it.
Sad. Steve Mulholland, my old mate. I enjoyed the video of the Cunard building. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. And Franco, Bella Poesia. That's a great poem. Beautiful poem. You know the voice, what she's saying there.
Yes.
In wonderful Italian.
Again. Lost.
I was thinking about you yesterday. And I had Florence on. Oh,
you know,
Anthony. Got to go, mate. We have to go.
Lainey and I were talking about you last night. We discovered a series which has been out for a few years, right? But I hadn't seen it. The Medicis.
Oh, the Medicis.
Set in Florence. Frank, whoa. It's modern day filming, so we know the buildings are kind of still there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
So
let's make a promise. Let's make a New Year's resolution that we'll get to, when it cools down a little, around September, October, something like that.
Yeah.
Florence, how's that?
Yeah. That sounds absolutely a majestic plan. Yeah. It's a good job they didn't have Liverpool town planners, really.
Oh, not going to be there. Not going to be there. Santa Croce Church, which has got all the tombs in.
Yeah.
Machiavelli, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Dante. That'll be gone. Where shall we put these? Oh, I'll just say it out. I'll bring them to a cemetery, so bury them. That's what they're like. And the lovely Karen. Hiya, Karen. Karen Karayaku. John Keats, words to make you think. You won't hear words that express such love today. Isn't that lovely?
Yes.
It's only what I read out.
Yeah. I strongly agree with Karen what she's saying then, but I was reminded of a beautiful story that you told me, a reminisce of something that happened not too long ago, because I've discovered the love for Irish poet Seamus Heaney.
Seamus.
And in part because of our Katie. And she bought me the most beautiful book for my birthday. And when you and I first mentioned them a few months ago, you had a fantastic story, which makes me chuckle, and is really heartwarming. I mean, at the time you came across him, he was a global sensation in
Oh, yeah.
colleges of
Loads.
education. Yeah.
To me, do you drink beer, Frank? He said, would you like a couple of beers with me? And I went, yeah. Seamus, God blimey. I'm Frank. At the bar, you know, having a beer. You can't make it up.
Can you remember where you went?
Yeah, it was up by university. Little pub there. He said, "You mind?" I said, okay, come on. Yeah. And we went over there, you know, just standing, just having a couple of beers. It was a proper pub. It wasn't on the university campus, if you know what I mean.
No.
I used to go there for the drink with a couple of chums, you know. Talk about bloody.
That's a forever memory there.
It is, isn't it?
When I told the kids, they were delighted. Man. Wonderful.
Seamus really. Who's that flagging you with last night? Some poets. I'll go away. They're people who didn't like poems or anything. To give it sauce, you know. Poet laureate he was at the time. And Bella says, Franco, that was haltingly beautiful. It felt deeply moving and tragic all at once. That's that, you know, that quote.
John Keats. What a humble man he was. And again, against adversity, his life. Wow.
And Janet says, which pub, Frank? I don't know. Forget the name of it, to be honest. It's been years. Just forget the name of it, to be honest. But it was a pub. It was a you know, proper pub. It wasn't a campus drinking, watering hole. It was just an ordinary pub. And we enjoyed each other's company, which is nice.
Yeah. Beautiful.
He thought that I was funny. He said, oh, you've got a lovely sense of humour. I said, oh, thanks, Seamus. Lovely sense of humour. Same as Prince Charles when he was down. They had to bring him around. Very, very humorous, thank you. All right, forgot his name and everything. I was saying again, Prince. And there's PR and he says, you shouldn't address him as Prince. This is really like, I said, I forgot his fucking name. I said, I was destroyed. And the fella was looking at me like, because I forgot his fucking name. It's shocking, isn't it? You can't make these things up.
No.
Yes, so go on. Sorry.
No, I was saying you can't make a class hero. There you go.
Do you know what though? You know when we talk about these great writers, the likes of John Keats, you know, the likes of Thomas Hardy, and you know, people have to say, I'll have to tell the people if they don't know that Thomas Hardy, when he fell in love with his fictional girl, Tess, the D'Urbervilles, he actually fell in love with her and he had to kill her off. He had to, as he was doing the story, he had to kill her off and killed her off he did. And he never wrote another novel after that. It was all poetry. So it just shows you what these people, feel when they're writing poetry.
Yes.
You know, these are the great poets. And Janet says, William Blake.
See,
And
he
Blake,
just,
go on.
I was just going to say, he's not a one-dimensional gentleman as William Blake. He was total on his own, totally on his own. He's just, as an artist, he was sensational. As a poet, he was absolutely, and sadly, a lot of people didn't get that until much later. Although he is one of the most inspirational people ever to be born on the British Isles, because of his poetry has inspired musicians, writers, artists. Keeps on.
You see, with the likes of Blake, you mentioned about him being a fantastic artist, which he was, a fantastic poet, which he was. And if someone said to me, what would you rather have, the poetry, or the artistry? And I wouldn't say, well, I'd rather have the poem,
You
or
can't
I'd
say,
rather have the art.
yeah,
I wouldn't,
because
because they're
no,
both art.
yes, you can't separate them because of the parts of the one man. No, and his beloved wife, who did all of the behind the scenes work and ran the etching machines and everything that he needed to produce his art. And that, as you mentioned, the John Keats, which is harrowingly beautiful. His last letter. I loved the the story of William Blake on his
I'll
deathbed.
lend you this book. I'll lend you this. I'll lend you it because it's very thin paper and it's very small print, something. Have you got a spine glass? You know, one of them.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
used,
what you'll need for this. Very difficult. No, I mean, I'd love to read a lot of poetry out of it, but the thing is, it's difficult. You know, reading it.
yes,
This year has one of those big, like, glass things. But I'll lend you this. It's very thick. It's that thick, as you know, and beautiful. There's loads of things in it. It's incredible. All the romantic poets. You know what I mean? And we had
yeah,
a great romantic poet here, poet. But he was a priest. He was a parish priest of St. Francis. And he hated Liverpool. He was Welsh. He hated Liverpool. So
wow,
he said, it's a frightening place. St. Francis up in, it's Hope University now. It's a university. But St. Francis Church is still going. An 1846 church. And he used to say the Mass in there. But he just wouldn't leave around the environment of St. Francis. You know, the school where he was teaching. Saying the Mass in St. Francis as well. Beautiful church, by the way. Magnificent. Built in 1846. There was these Irish fellas. They went in, you know, the Rose and Crown of Tail Street.
yeah, up by the old Bridewell.
There you go. Well, they were in there. That's where they always start, these fellas. They were rich merchants, you know, Irish, proper Irish. And they were sitting in there one day. Now, they had, how can I say this? With the Irish community coming in and into Liverpool, especially after the 1845 famine, in Ireland, potato famine. And don't forget what George Bernard Shaw said. How could there be a famine when the country was full of food? Which it was full of food, by the way.
Yeah.
Which it was. But anyway,
Yeah.
lots of Irish kept coming over, to build canals, to build the railway. And they all came to Liverpool. They were the navigators. Great workers. And they started to move like further up from Scotland Road towards St. Francis, what we know today, St. Francis Church, but there was no church as such. And they used to like talk to these people, and they said, we have to traipse down to St. Anthony's in Scotland Road, in all kinds of weather, because they were very pious, the people then, the Irish, very
Yes.
pious. And anyway, they seen this fella, J.J. Scholes, architect, and they said to him, listen, mate, can we have a word with you? And he said, yeah, what she wants. He said, we'd like you to build a church. He said, yeah, okay. What kind you want? And one of the Irish lads, he drew it the best he could. He said, can you build it something like this? And he said, well, what's that there? And there was a thing sticking out. He said, well, I'd like it a part of Notre Dame in Paris, because something sticks out in the Notre Dame. And he said, yeah, I'll do that. So he designed it, showed them it. He said, is this okay? And he went, yeah. So he built, he designed and built St. Francis Xavier's Church. And he had that little piece sticking out. And when I was up there and that, and bloody going to funerals, services, I used to have them out. Said, how'd you see that there? And it's brilliant, It's a lovely church, great inside. And that's how it was built. By the people, saying, we have to go down all the way to. But they were benevolent lads, if you know what I mean. The Irish lads, they built a church for the Irish community there.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey, Janet. Where's St. Francis's Church? It's in Salisbury Street. Salisbury Street, or Salisbury Street. That's where it is. Up in by where the Collegiate is, by where Hope University is. Anyway, there now. I used to lecture there. My family was O'Kelly. There you go, Janet. Yeah. According to my cousin. There you go. The thing is with the Irish as well, to get jobs, they had to drop their names because they had a lot of Gaelic name, the names were Gaelic. And when they anglicised them, the likes of Kelly for the O'Kelly, they used to have to drop the O to get a job because they wouldn't give the Irish the jobs.
Anglicized.
Yeah, so they anglicised the name. Same as the Italians. The Italians had to anglicise the names. Well, you've only got the Cricchetti family. And the Cricchetti family wanted them to get on and go through And this fella couldn't speak any English until he was 8 years of age, when they said, you better start speaking English. 8 years of age, 9 years of age, he could speak some English. And you're not going to believe who it was. So I'll tell you who it was, the Cricchetti family.
Yeah.
Dean Martin.
Of course.
Dean Martin, Dino Martini, Dean Martin. And that's, he said it, Martini, and he said, no, don't, no Italian. No Italian. And Bobby Darin as well, forget what his name was. Bobby Darin. And he said, his agent said, listen, you'll have to change your name. Get away from the Italian thing. And he was sitting outside a cafe in New York. And he was looking over the road. And he seen the Mandarin, which was a Chinese cafe. So he used it, Bobby Darin, Mandarin. See what I mean? He got the name. Incredible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Sinatra, as you know, Jerry Dorsey, he said, listen, change your name. And his mother, Sinatra's mother, went down to Jerry Dorsey. So you can imagine what she said, using all the finest Italian expletives. Thank you.
Italian is yeah.
Thank you. It's incredible, it's incredible. So Sinatra never changed his name. And anyway, Tony Bennett did. His name was Benetti. Antonio Benetti. Antonio Benetti. And Dennis says, need to take a work call. Have a great night, guys. Truly enjoyed the show. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you.
Cheers, Dennis.
You've got to meet him in a few months when he comes over.
Yeah, brilliant.
You've got to meet him. Smashing lad. Good singer as well. Dennis the Paparak. And he's got alligators as well. Alligators around his house.
No. My God.
Believe it, would you? So you see, our literature is such that I love the words. Karen Kariakou mentioned the words. You know what I mean? Mention words, which is very important. And so did Bella. Now, Bella, obviously, that was Marcella who was saying that, because it was perfect English. Perfect. What a lovely...
yeah.
Walden Robert Cassato was the birth name for Bobby Darin. Thank you. There you go. Thank you, Toscan. But that's how he got his name, Darin. Bobby Darin of Mandarin, Chinese thing. It's Bella's poem. Silver hair and faded ink, past the ages on the brink. One paints the world in gold and red, the other wakes the ancient dead. Isn't that brilliant?
Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I've got to keep
Pure
that.
poetry.
I've got to keep that. That's fantastic, that. Do you know what? I'm going to take a picture of that shot.
Me too. For exactly the same.
brilliant, that. Oh.
Beautiful, Bella.
Brilliant, that, Bella. Thank you. Mille grazie. Mille grazie, cara mia. Toscana. Complimenti, Bella d'Italia, says Toscana. And Gianna says, is that your poem, Bella? She's just made it up. She writes poetry.
Been so many.
She says, I'm sure poem for you wonderful people. You share your love to all of us. Isn't that lovely?
That is beautiful.
Make sure that I've got it now.
Thank you, Bella.
Yep, got it. That's brilliant, that. Yeah, there's something for you people, all you Italians. Frank Sinatra, Peyton the Clown.
Yeah.
There he is. And you wouldn't think that Frankie Boy would be a bit of an artist, would you?
I'll tell you what, Frankie comes out in 2s and 3s. Art, music, literature, poetry. It's you know. You find a good actor, and chances are they can sing and they can paint and draw. Actress. I don't like that distinction between male and female. Actor is an actor.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. I'm just deleting some things here. I'm sorry about this.
Mm-hmm.
And what have you been saying? I'd love to know how the words enter your head, says Toscana. It's amazing. And Paulie, Bella, beautiful words, says Paulie.
Yeah.
And Bella says, thank you.
Thank you, Bella.
And Christopher says, Bella, you should put all your poems in a book. A fantastic talent.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right, Christopher.
And Janet says, same as a poet is poetry. Yes. And to Bob Dylan, Boy George, Pierce Brosnan are talented painters. So is Billy Connolly. I'll tell you, one of the great painters is, I always get mixed up with these two fellas. Is it? Anyway, he plays with the Stones, bit of a divvy, like Lane. Ronnie Wood. Ronnie Wood. That's him. Brilliant painter.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Surprising.
Yeah. And also, I've got a big book on the back shelf there of the works of a wonderful Italian New Yorker singer who just wowed us. And he left his heart in San Francisco, but Tony Bennett was a phenomenal painter too. Wonderful artist.
Is he?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's brilliant, Dad. I didn't know that. Even as a clue. Tony Bennett.
Yeah, I'll send you some of his. Well, I'll put it through to Jason and
Yeah, put it there and put it up.
yeah, yeah,
Let's have
brilliant.
a look at it. Even if some Ronnie Lanes, not Ronnie
Yeah,
Lanes, Ronnie Woods.
yeah, yeah.
And Bella says Toscana. My father used to read us poetry when we were children. Excuse me.
Beautiful.
And Janet says, what about the Rossetti family? There's a few Rossettis, depends on who.
These are the pre-Raphaelites, and the brother was the main pre-Raphaelite, and the sister wrote what I think is the greatest poem, which is now a carol connected to Christmas. In the bleak midwinter, Christina Rossetti. She didn't write it for music. I think years after she died, I think it was Holst, the classical composer, who put music, a melody to her poem, which is like new life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can imagine someone doing that too. Well, they did with our hero, William Blake,
Yeah.
with Jerusalem, which is now played at the end of every kind of civic establishment,
Function, yeah.
which he would hate.
Yeah.
But
Because he never got on with them. They always steal something, don't they?
yes, eloquently put, my dear friend.
Toscana. Bella, that's wonderful. My dad taught me how to make wine and grow veg.
Perfect virtues.
And Janet says, Christina Rossetti, yeah. Great poet.
Yeah.
Great poet. The Rossettis. That's what it says. There's a few Rossettis, and as Anthony said, he goes back to the Renaissance or the pre-Raphaelite.
That's where
Good
they got their
knowledge, Anthony,
inspiration.
she says here. Yeah, Anthony. Janet said, good knowledge there.
Janet, just a very, very interested student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about tonight?
I think it's been really, really, for me personally, it's been beautiful because it's touched on everything that we love, and everyone has offered wonderful insights.
Insight, isn't it? Insight to their private lives as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what have we always said? We say every time we're together, the greatest thing you can do is inspire people, and you have done with everything you've done with all the pods.
Do you see this fella here, David Owens?
Yeah.
One of the greatest archivists ever. Brilliant research. He's the best researcher I've known. I've ever known. And the man named after a lake, yeah, Rudyard Kipling, yeah, was Rudyard. That was the lake. A prolific poetry writer.
The
Rudyard
most
Kipling.
powerful and the shortest poem ever.
Yeah. He was conceived by, that's why his name was Rudyard. He was conceived at the lake. Shall we name him, bro? And you get the likes of David Beckham naming his son or whatever, Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if, he could have been, she could have been a Spice Girl and performing down in Scunthorpe. I wonder if he was a name to Scunthorpe.
Well, you kind of got to see that it's there for him if he wants it. If everything else turns to sugar, then he can do that, put a frock on and go dancing with his wife.
And Janet says, exaltation is the going of another. Hang on. Exaltation is the going of an inland soul to sea. That's a quote by Emily Dickinson.
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it? Like these wonderful quotes that people come up with.
Yeah.
You can't beat them. You cannot beat them.
Oh,
it's like, but he never actually said it, but it's one of the most brilliant quotes ever. The amount of evidence will never persuade an idiot. And Mark Twain was reputedly to have said that.
Yeah. There's been so many quotes attributed to Mark Twain, isn't
there?
Yeah. Really great. And our hero of the quotes is possibly Oscar.
Yeah. Do you know when? Did you notice me? Do you know during that Liverpool Unseen thing? I was doing the Cunard building, during that break.
Yeah.
Now, what I hate it. I never call the Three Graces. I don't call them that.
No.
Because some stupid liberal fella, councillor, decided to call them the Three Graces. Well, there's 4 graces actually. I'm not talking about buildings. I'm talking about Zeus and his daughters. They were 4 graces, and he tried to put the 3 graces. And I said to her when I was filming it, I said, I'm not calling them the 3 graces. She said, just say it, because people will know where. I said, they know what the fucking Cunard building.
Yeah.
He said, no, just say it. So I had to say it. And I never called them the 3 graces, ever. But that's why I go mad at them. And Janet says, what about the Mersey Gateway for the name? It depends on what there is the Mersey Gateway anyway. It was the gateway to the New World, which was America.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'll talk about in a future one when we're doing history. Is the Wishing Well. I'll talk about that.
Okay. Right in the centre of the town.
It's great. Really is great.
Yeah. And there's another couple of beautiful historic oddities in the same area, isn't there?
Yeah. Do you know what I want to talk about as well on the next one? It's Voltaire and what he said. Let me think what he said. Hang on. It is difficult to free fools from the chains they revere, and it coincides with the with what Jean-Jacques Rousseau said. And Jean-Jacques Rousseau said, "Man is born free. However, he is everywhere in chains, and we're always tied to something, and we
Yes.
can't free from the chains that we've
Yeah.
acquired." It's just like Dickens with the likes of Marley when he had all those chains and he couldn't free himself of the chains simply because of what his life was like. His
Yes.
life was of greed. His
Yeah.
life was a chain of greed, a link. And that's why he said to Scrooge, "Listen, you don't want to be like me with these chains." You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just coincides, as I said, man is born free, however, he is everywhere in chains. And it's difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. And that's what Voltaire said. So
Yeah.
more or less the same. Oh, fuck. Have you enjoyed tonight then, mister?
I really have. I'm just sorry I missed you. Call was just been mental over the past few days, but I loved tonight, Frank. I loved it. And I loved the clips on the film. I love the Q note.
Been great. James Owen, come on, James Owens. Brilliant,
Just
David.
all the
And
all the comedy.
when Jeanette says, "What about the Mersey Gateway for a name?" And she carries on, I mean, instead of Brooklyn.
Yeah, there's the gateway. Yeah.
Nice one, Jeanette. And on that note, thank you so much. I'm having a football one. Do you fancy doing more tomorrow night?
You're not doing any football?
No, I'll do that on Wednesday
Okay, that's cool.
because we're playing on Thursday.
Right.
So do you fancy it?
Uh, I would love it. Yeah.
All right, so we'll do something tomorrow night, people. Anthony and myself. Get Jason to put more pictures up.
Yeah.
Talk a little history. And we'll talk more about literature and what it
Yes.
means to us, what it means to you. You know what I mean? When I say us, I mean collectively.
Yes. Yeah.
With all our chatters and us.
Because we're all inspired by each other.
Yes. Grazie Franco Anthony and chatters. Buonanotte, says the lovely Toscana.
Good night. God bless Toscana. Thank you. Thank
Do you
you
know
for that.
what? There was a quote, a comment, and I don't think I read it out. Where can I get it? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Yeah. That's it. And it's Billy. And I didn't read it out. Franco and Antonio. That is a sign. If you were both thinking about the same thing, you need to go. And that's Florence.
Florence, we do. I know Franco's been, but I do need to go. And we're just sitting in different programs, different reminders coming up. And I'm saying to Lane last night, that's where Frank wants us to go. That's where we should have been years ago, 10 years ago. Wow. Just wow.
It is a wow, you know. When you get, it's the greatest thing anyway, you know. Beautiful city. Beautiful. Incredible city. And if we go in the April, not the April, I'm sorry, in the September, it'll
Yeah.
be cooling down, you know, like late September, something like that. It'll be great for us just to stroll around. Just to stroll around. And Janet said, talking more about some of the greatest female writers, please. Yeah, we do. We have spoke about them, to be honest, Janet. The likes of the Brontes, for example, we spoke about. Don't talk about, I won't talk about, who is it?
Elizabeth Barrett Browning as well.
Oh, we spoke about Elizabeth Barrett Browning.
And a sensational husband. Wow. Now that was love.
Oh, fantastic love.
Wasn't it?
Fantastic love that was. Franco and Antonio, buonanotte, grazie mille. Good night, everyone. Lovely night, says Bella.
Good night,
Thank you,
Bella.
Bella. Michelle.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your beautiful poetry. Always.
That's brilliant, that. And the lovely Toscana. I might bump into you. I'm going at the She's going in September.
Oh. Wow.
Do you know what I'd love to get? I'd love to go to Lucca as well. Lucca. That's where Puccini was born.
Wow.
Funny enough, I sent her a message to Francine, and La Boheme's coming on in the Empire. And I said to her, you know, Sophia loves musicals.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to get into the opera because she loves musicals. And I said, does she want to go to the Empire? It's coming on. So she said she'll ask her. So I'll get the tickets.
Oh.
And Jeanette said, sorry, missed the beginning of your discussions, says Janet. Don't worry. You know, you can always just see it.
You didn't miss anything. You were part of it.
Yeah. And Toscana says, Franco, I will give you a tour of Lucca. Yeah, look at that for us there. Well, you got to get a coach because they have coaches, you know, the hotels and that.
Yeah.
And they have coaches, like, they just go everywhere. Pick you up and bring you there, bring you back. And that'll be great, that, Toscana. And even Janet's been, because she says, Lucca is amazingly beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Now, isn't that coincidence.
That's
What Toscana says. I'll be there from the 15th to the 29th of Sept. And what did I say? We'll go, late
late
in
September.
September. So
Yeah.
that'll be the dates that we'll go.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Brilliant. And as Janet says, Lucca is amazingly beautiful. And Toscana says, Janet, it's where my family is from.
All connects.
It does all connect.
All of us on here. Beautiful.
And I thought you could take your granddaughter to Vienna. Says Janet. Janet, I'm taking it to. I'm taking it to Verona to see Juliet's balcony because she really, truly loves Romeo and Juliet. Can I come along in September? Which is, I'll get a coach loads up. I'll go.
Get a coach. Yeah.
Well, we see what's going on, and we've got all year to sort things out. So anyway, Mister, I'll give you the ring in an hour. Is that all right?
You got a drink us.
I'll say 10 o'clock. It's 9:15 now.
That's fab, Frank. Yeah.
All right. Do you know what I've been doing, Anthony? I've been taking, and I don't want to take, cocodamol. Very strong. What do we say? Pain relief now. Political correction. PC, and it's not painkillers anymore. It's pain relief or something like that.
Well, because they don't want to mention the name killers in association with drugs.
Yeah,
that's a new one.
Yeah.
Is it helping?
Yes, because now I'll be sitting here in terrible pain. I took it just before I came on, I don't like taking them, I'm being honest. I can hardly move my left arm. I'm terrified to reach over and grab things. Honestly, Anthony, I'm in a terrible way. But everything's okay now. I'm free from pain at the moment. But anyway, I'll tell you later on what's happening with me. Okay?
Yes.
So I'll do myself a, do you know what I'm going to have? I'm going to have a couple of rounds of toast with marmalade on. I love marmalade, Anthony.
I thought you were going to go for a couple of rounds of toast on the side of one of those beautiful sounding onion and egg Italian. Yeah. I can smell them.
Do you know Christopher? He came today, right?
Yeah.
And do you know what he bought me? He just brought, because I gave him books, football books, and he was made up. Absolutely lovely fella, So he says, I brought this up for you. And it was a tray of tiramisu.
Oh my word. Beautiful. Well, there you go. There's pudding. You got your toast.
And we pudding, yeah. Hello and Lee. Thank you, gentlemen and chat, for your lovely company.
Thank you, Owen, for you. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. Really nice. And hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow. What do you think?
I think we will. I hope we do. You know.
And we're going to leave that on there from Owen Lee and say good night. Say buonanotte to our lovely Italian girls, Toscana, Bella, and Marcella. Love that name, Marcella.
Yeah.
And on that, I'll speak to you in about 10 o'clock. Is that okay? Yeah.
Frank, I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea.
Not a tot of grouse, no.
Well, it's like you've had your birthday now. Wait till next year. So
All right. I'll speak to you later. Good night, people. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow night, hopefully.
Good night, all. Thank you.
Yeah, look at that. Like Frank and Anthony and Jason and everyone up the history reds. Christopher.
Good night, Christopher.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. I'm going to end it. See you later. Bye.
Good night, Jason.
See you later, boys and girls. Bye-bye. See you later, Jason. Talk to you in about 10 o'clock, Anthony. Bye-bye now.